Hey Freedom Gorillas, today we have the FN502. We're going to take a look at all the Holosun optics that'll fit onto this, as well as their ability to co-witness. And for those of you who don't know what co-witness means, all I'm referring to is when an optic is installed on the slide, how much of the front and rear iron sights you're able to see through the optic. That way, in case of any optic failures, you're still able to use the iron sights to aim. So FN was really smart here. They give you multiple plates and screws with the 502 that have different footprints. So we have an RMR plate, we have a Dr. Noblex plate, that's going to be the Vortex Venom. We have a Shield RMSc plate, which will also fit all of the Holosun K series optics. And then for screws, it tells you what color you should use with the plate, and those screws are right above the optic plate that matches. All right, so because it comes with these different plates, what that really means is you get to install essentially all of the Holosun optics that you possibly want. So you have the 407C, 507C, the 508T, and the 507 comp for the RMR footprint. We'll get to that one in a second and how to install that. And then for the K series, we have the 407K, 507K, SCS carry, EPS carry, and the full-sized EPS. Quick side note for the RMR optics, I am curious to see if we could install a 509T. Right now, I do not know because you'd have to plate stack. You'd put the 509T plate on the RMR plate. So we'll see how that looks. Now, the whole reason it comes with plates is because the FN502 has a proprietary cut for this. So you'll need these adapter plates to install the optics. So this is what it looks like when the optic cover is not installed. All right, so let's get these open and let's take a look. All right, so we're gonna start with the K series, and I just wanna show you how you install the plate. So you literally get it, put that on. Then you're gonna use the screws that have the blue paint on them. And that's going to be for all of the K series. This is going to work for the 407K, 507K, and I just tested it out. It'll also work for optics with a lower deck height like the SCS carry and EPS carry. One thing I will mention though, when you get this installed, it's this button head, and for some people, I know this will drive them crazy. Just get that snug to show you for a second, that it will stick up a little bit past the optic. And the one thing I do want to mention about these screws is the book says to tighten it to 17.5 inch-pounds and do not use thread locker on the screws because of the system that this uses. It's supposed to tighten it down automatically, and it suggests that putting thread locker on will cause the optic to become really hard to get off. And one last comment about the EPS and K series line before we move on to the RMR. The full-size EPS does have a little bit of overhang on the slide here, as opposed to the EPS carry, which sits nice and flush. All right, now we're moving on to the RMR plates. I did want to test out the 509T and the 509 ACSS. If we do install that, obviously there's not going to be any co-witness. It still sits too high because you have to plate stack. You have to use the plate that the 509T comes with, then you have to use the plate that the FN comes with. I just want to make note of this because I just saw it. I don't know if this happens to anyone else's plate, but with my optics on the RMR plate, I have to like snap it in and push down. And now it's ready to be installed. We're gonna use the screws that have the red paint on them to install these optics, the RMR ones. And there's all the Holosun optics that'll fit on the FN502. Personally, I'd go with the Holosun 407C green or red to go on the FN502. Let me know in the comments what you're gonna install on yours though. If you want more information about each individual optic listed in today's video, I'll put a link in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.